Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today I will be talking about this character here. And character is called Flavia. He is called a duelist. And without further ado, let's get started. Now, you might be guessing, okay, which category will she fall today? Now, remember what I said, okay, that when it comes to this tier list is a representation of which character is easier to use, not a understanding of which character is the most powerful or less powerful, even though they are. For example, this guy is the goat, Duet goat. But despite all that, the question remains is, okay, which character Flavia falls into this today? Okay, which category? So first thing I have to show you of why this character you must need to have a low expectation when you are using this character. First thing, base damage. Everything increases by 2 points. Okay, maybe this one is 1 point, but all of them increases, so it is a very good thing. So instead of going for uh, base rate of fire, go with damage. Now, one of my viewers in my YouTube comment said that reload speed is better. This will totally depend on you. For example, the reload speed will be lowered by 1 second, whereas magazine will give you more bullets. So I used to go for this. I thought it was maybe a lot, but it wasn't. It was only 1 second, so it is not worth it for me. Recoil is very good for not only for speed control. Like, here is the thing, recoil helps with speed control, and if you were to have speed control, then you will get even more control out of your gun. Okay, and I used to play with stringified damage. Basically, in the paper mode, the enemies get damage a lot, but I went for headshot. Why did I do this? Because recently I am not winning any fight without this headshot. Okay, so this is the reason why I am doing so. Now, with all of this in mind, let's see what is the overall damage output. Okay, so first I'll look at the, what should I call it, accuracy, and then the damage. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so you might be thinking, okay, it was very easy for me, right? No, it wasn't very easy, because here's the thing. Obviously, she has her own pattern, but it is anything but easy. Even there are times where this is basically not the accurate representation. But because the accuracy is looking high at the moment, I will say, okay, it is high, because I cannot disprove it. Maybe my aim has gotten better. So that's the whole thing. Okay, so what is the amount of damage she is doing? The amount of damage she is capable of doing is 672. So there are some times that I can get up to 702 damage, sometimes 600. So it is basically, I do not know why, but there was even a time where it had gotten a maximum damage output of near 800. So I guess they basically nerf this character, the developer, that is. So when it comes to damage output and when it comes to the accuracy, because I said that the accuracy of this character is actually very hard to control. So because of this reason, okay, these two reason, I have to put this character here. Now your accuracy will increase over time, so you might consider putting her in this place. But when I basically compare rest of the other characters, what should I call it, their submachine gun experience, for example 1, 2, and 3, I saw that in regards to their ability, which is somewhat auto locking, this character here has the highest amount of imbalance in the shooting control, that is or accuracy, and her weapon damage is one of the lowest among these three. So because of this reason, I had to lower this character, because you remember, right? A ranking represents who has the highest amount of damage output. All three of them has a damage output of 800 plus. So from that point of perspective, I would say this is the lowest ranking in terms of damage and accuracy. Now, the other thing about these characters is when it comes to her overall active skill, her active skill has a little problem. Allow me to explain why. For example, I'm gonna activate unlimited active mode, and then I'm gonna shoot this grenade 2 times. Okay, now I'm gonna shoot this grenade again. 1 2 3. Okay, it was 1 and 2, right? So you might be expecting, okay, this butterfly duration will increase by 2 seconds, right? Okay, now look what happens. It doesn't increase by 2 seconds. Okay, 1 2 3. Okay, so it stays activated about 3 seconds before I use this, and it stays the same even after this is activated. So what does this mean? It means that for some reason this is not working. Okay, like if I cannot find a difference, then what is the point? This is an important part. What is the point? Okay, okay, I forgot to count. 1 3, about 3 seconds. Now let's see, it should be 5 seconds, right? 1 3, it is still the same. So what does this represent? This represent that there is a bug here, which is why this extra 2 seconds, which is equivalent to 5 seconds, is not getting activated. So be careful of this. If this was good, I would have said this is a good character, but because of low damage output, I would have put this character here, but I can't do that because active skill is more important than ultimate skill, because ultimate skill takes time to recover. Okay, you must need to kill the enemy or take the damage from the enemy. So unlike other characters, this character, when she takes damage from the enemy, her ultimate skill gets significant more uh, regeneration. As a result, you will be able to use ultimate a lot more faster, but it doesn't happen because of that. Why doesn't it happen? Because it takes time, and if it takes time, then you need to rely on your active skill, right? And this active skill doesn't stay active very good enough. Okay, so because of this reason, I had to lower this our ranking. Now what does this active skill do? So this active skill, when used, okay, it basically causes her to turn into a butterfly mode for a certain amount of time, which is about 3 seconds, and it only activates when she takes HP damage, not armor damage. Okay, so when she takes HP damage, she immediately transforms into a butterfly for 3 seconds, and it can goes up to 5 seconds, but it doesn't happen because there is a bug problem here. Okay, and because of this reason, even though I try to use her, I don't use her. Okay, now other thing is, when she takes HP damage, when her active skill is activated, there will be an orb that will appear in the sky, and it has a certain HP limit as well. I do not know how much, but once that gets destroyed, only then the enemy will be able to see where she is. Okay, something like that. Like that orb basically blocks the enemy's view. Okay, so what about the ultimate? The ultimate does the almost same thing, but instead of that orb, a certain sphere will appear in the sky. Okay, so when this sphere appears in the sky, as long as I do not shoot anyone, no one will be able to see me. But if I shoot them, they will be able to see me. So you need to be careful. And anyone who is outside of the boundary will not be able to see me. Anyone who enters this boundary will be able to see me. And this can also apply for my teammates. If my teammates were to be inside here and they were to shoot the enemies will not be able to see where my teammates are. So the question is, how long does it stay active? This stays active for 10 seconds, as you can see here. This countdown bar, it is 10 seconds, which is more than enough. If I were to compare it to this one, 1 2 3, only 3 seconds. So the question remains is, her, what should I call it, her ultimate is very good, but her active skill were to be good if it were to be stay active for 5 seconds. Okay, if it were to be stay active for 5 seconds, I would have said okay, very good, but 3 seconds is too short, too short. Okay, now what about this character's ability to to any other effect. So what are these? Okay, so basically this is if you were to use the active skill, the orb that appears in the sky will have 50% more HP, so it will stay active for a longer period of time. Okay, so this basically how it works. Now the question is it very useful? For a short duration it is useful, actually it is useful. Okay, so if I were to take this damage here and the orb appears in the sky. Oh, what the? Huh? Why am I not taking damage? Oh, oh, okay. I need to deactivate some of them, I guess. Okay, so okay, okay. So I guess this is another training ground bug. Sorry about that. So there seems to be a lot of problem with this character here. Whenever I try to use this character, either in training or either in the battlefield, it causes a bug problem. But anyway, that is not the point. The question is, okay, so how are you gonna use this character if her active skill is a problematic? The answer is you need to use this character very carefully. So what do I mean by that? So when it comes to using this character, what you should be going for is, instead of going for a mid-range attack, okay, instead of going for a mid-range attack, go for a short-range attack. Okay, so if you were to hit the enemy in the short range, then it would be very good because the short range accuracy is very good. But when it comes to the long range accuracy, the long range accuracy is a little bit problematic. You'll have to train here a lot in order to understand how her short range, or sorry, not short range, mid range accuracy can be improved. Okay, so this is an important part of this character, that in order to destroy the enemy in the long range, you need to understand how her weapon recoils happen, and then you can use it. Now the only reason why I do not train this character is because our overall damage output is very low. So in cases like this, if this butterfly duration is not working, I highly suggest that you go with orb. And when it comes to she taking attack from the enemy to regain her ultimate again, I highly suggest that you go for retribution, so that she can survive a little bit longer. And then this. So after all of this is done, the question is what about the awaken skill? Let's talk about them. So after summoning a phantom orb, Flavia regenerates HP. So what happens is, if I were to use this and then shoot myself. Okay, okay. So she will regenerate HP. So you definitely saw it was basically below 90. Now it is 100 again. So this is basically how this work. Okay. Now what about this? What does this do? Modifies the active skill to immediately grant stealth and invisibility for a short period of time, summoning a phantom orb at a location. So let's say it immediately turns into a butterfly. Okay, it's not like my duration will increase. What will happen is, if I were to use this method, then I cannot shoot the enemy. Okay, so why this is even bad? Allow me to explain. So when I do not use this ability, what happens is, once I activate this, I need to get shot by the enemy. Only then when I get shot, I turns into a butterfly, basically giving me a chance to escape a very horrible attack, such as getting sniped by the enemy. So if a sniper were to shoot me and I survive because of this active skill, it would have been better. So from that point of perspective, using this awaken skill 2 is actually very bad idea. You need to go for a awaken skill 1. Now what about awaken skill 3? Hello? Okay. So what about this awaken skill 3? What does this do? Flavia gains temporarily armor equivalent to a percentage of damage dealt to the phantom orb before it depletes or destroyed. So basically speaking, this is good because when a phantom orb were to appear in the sky, only then, if the character herself were to take damage from the enemy, then obviously what will happen is she will turn into a butterfly. But once she turns into her human form again, she will automatically gain armor. And because of this exact reason, I would suggest that you go for this awaken skill 1 and 3, not 2. Unless you are a stealth type of player who is extremely good at stealth, then only then this is very useful. But because this game is not a stealth mode game, it will depend on you. But for majority of the player, awaken skill 1 and 3 is the best idea. Okay, now what about grenades? So when it comes to the grenade, uh, a frag grenade and a windstorm grenade are by default a very good idea, because it's prevent players from actually hitting back at you, okay, either by killing you or making you fly. But if you are trying to do a survivalistic method such as surviving the enemy barrage, then going for a healing grenade is very good idea. What do I mean by that? Allow me to explain. So when she uses her active skill or passive skill or even ultimate, the main purpose of her ultimate and active skill is to survive the enemy attack long enough. Okay, let's say I turn into butterfly here, I can immediately go. But the thing is, it is stuck in 3 second duration, not 2 second duration plus is not getting added to that 3 second duration. So instead of going for this, go for this HP. So just enough time for the orb which will appear in the sky. Okay, once that orb is destroyed, only then the enemy will be able to see you. It will basically give you enough time to hide. So from that point of perspective, the question remains is this character good for DPS or is this character good for support? Definitely this character is not good for support. DPS wise, she has very limitation. Her strategy will basically fall into the type of, what should I call it, a decoy. Okay, she is basically gonna turn into a decoy, and if you are capable of doing some short range damage, then that is fine. But I'm not saying that you are gonna be able to win the fight majority of the time with this method. What will happening is you will be able to survive. So the question remains is, what role will I give her? Obviously I will give her a role where she annoys the enemy. The distractor is the name which I will have to give her, because she has highest survivability rate but the lowest amount of damage, and her accuracy is actually very hard to control, but that will depend on you guys. But from the point of her weapon damage output is low, and from the point that she uses an active skill which is not very good, I think I need to put this character in terms of C rank. Okay, I haven't given this C rank before in my previous season 1 uh, environment, but in this season 2 environment the things have changed a lot. Okay, to the point that if I were to go by this ranking where the accuracy, weapon accuracy, damage, and even what should I call them, active skill, all of them are working properly, they will go to this place here. And if their active skill is a problematic one, or maybe the weapon is a little bit problematic in terms of either low damage or something like that, then they will go to this place here. And if there are let's say weapon skill and active skill uh, and many other things were to be lower, then they would go here. But because these characters, her active skill is a problem, her weapon accuracy, it takes a lot of training to actually get good at it, and the amount of damage she does is extremely low. Because of this reason, I would say that even Audrey is in a higher position than this one. This is overall my conclusion. Even though she has a highest amount of survivability rate, because she is not capable of providing much support in terms of to other characters, or even for the DPS character. For example, this is a DPS character, but he can also provide support. So if all of this is combined, she falls into the C rank. Okay, I have to lower her and give her the role of the distractor, nothing else. Okay, so this is my conclusion for this character. Now, one thing which has been added to the game that I like the most is her uh, dress, the type of dress that was given to her. Okay, so she was given this dress here. Okay, now this is my actually favorite dress. I think anyone who tries to use this character for this dress, the good job to them, because this is the dress that I would definitely go for. Okay, Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because like, who am I to deny such a very uh, good quality dress? I'm not gonna deny it. Okay, so this is definitely how it goes. So a good quality dress, I think. Okay, if you know what I mean. So this is my overall conclusion for this character. So if you like this character, and the description on how I basically told you guys to use her, because she is basically gonna be a very difficult character to experience, which is why I have to put her in C rank. From that point of perspective, I would say that if you still like this character, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.